It's so special. Boy, how it feels when I'm with you. You got me doing things I never thought I'd do. Just so you know, ain't nothing.
It's Say, and this is my life buffet, okay? And today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. We're about to do cooking with Zay, cooking with Zay. But today we are making stuffed potatoes with shrimp and broccoli. And why am I forgetting? We're gonna do a little side salad, and on top of that, we're gonna make this nice creamy sauce. Okay? So let's tune in and get into the steps on how to make that, just in case if you want to copy this recipe. So we are gonna go over all of the ingredients I got. The stores I went to get these ingredients is Walmart and Aldi. So first off, we got these main baking potatoes from Aldi. They're russet potatoes, by the way. Next up, we have steamed broccoli florets. The frozen kind works better than the raw, because especially if you want to get it soft. Next up, we have colossal raw shrimp, Parmesan cheese, and for the seasonings, we have garlic powder, onion powder, some Old Bay, Lawry's, lemon pepper seasoning, pepper, paprika, garlic and herb dash, Morton sea salt, parsley, and some Spice World garlic. And our last three ingredients is heavy whipping cream, an onion, and some Land O'Lakes butter. So we are now over at the sink. We're gonna go ahead and get started by washing off these potatoes, because potatoes grow on the ground. So that means they're gonna have some dirt on it. So let's go ahead and get to this little time lapse. So the potatoes are clean now. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and wrap them up in some foil and get the oven ready. We are gonna put the oven on bake for 425 degrees. Okay, so we're at our little station here that we got set up, and I don't like touching stuff in my hands, so I'm gonna use some gloves. So all you need for this step is that sea salt. You need some oil, which I poured in this plate because I like to make sure it's fully coated. So I'm going to twist them around in this. And all you need is your foil. But let's get into this potato. What the freak is this? It looks like a woman with, you know, the pregnant stomach. And it looks like a, give me your money. No. But yeah, and it also looks like a goldfish. It looks like a lot of things. Comment down below, what do you think this looks like? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I do one potato. This is just some olive oil here. So usually I go ahead and coat it, rub it, make sure it's steeped in. And then next, I grab a fork.
And I just punch some holes in it.
And once your potatoes are covered in these holes, you want to grab your salt and pour, you know, about a decent amount on there. If it gets in the oil, it's okay. And then you coat that until it feels, you know, a little gritty. Sounds like a sugar scrub. And then you're gonna grab your piece of foil that I have over here on the side and wrap your potato so that it is fully covered like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these off camera, and I'll tune back into you guys. Here are the potatoes on the pan. We're gonna go ahead and put those in the oven. So I did put the potatoes in the oven, so we're gonna go ahead and set our timer for. While those are in the oven, since we want to go ahead and serve everything and have everything done at one time so the food is still hot and fresh, okay? That's what we do over here in this household. But we are going to go ahead and peel and devein the shrimp and prep for the sauce. So this shrimp is actually already deveined, but I do want the tail to be off for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the tail off of these. Now that the shrimp are peeled and they are pretty good, like look at it compared to my face. It's pretty big for sure. I'm gonna go rinse these off and clean them, and then we're gonna start preparing them. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned my shrimp and it looks like it cooked a little bit. But yo, hold on a second. I gotta wash my hands because I touched that. But we are going to use our stainless steel pan. I have it getting warm right now on medium high heat. And the seasonings we are going to be using for this, I will say as we go. But first we need to go ahead and butter up this pan. So for this, I'm going to be using about 2 tablespoons of butter. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on there, let it do its thing. You want to let this fully melt before putting your shrimp in. This is my favorite part, sliding this around, because it reminds me of Cooking Mama from, if you guys had it on the DS. I forgot exactly what it is that I made on the game, but we had to slide the butter around quickly before the time ran out. But that is done. We're going to set this to the side, and we are going to put our shrimp in. Oh, this one doesn't want to go. So we're gonna spread these out evenly. Seasoning. We're gonna do some onion powder, some Old Bay, some lemon pepper, garlic powder, garlic and herb, and then last but not least, a little parsley. Let's go ahead and give those a toss just to make sure that they are evenly coated. And then we're going to turn the heat down and add some the best butter of all time, which is, if I can find, the Land O'Lakes garlic and herb. We're going to add about a tablespoon of that, a tablespoon and a half. And we're going to go ahead and stir that up in there. Ooh, look at this. So yummy and so fragrant. Very fragrant. So these have about 2 more minutes to cook, and then we're gonna get into making our sauce. Alrighty, the shrimp are done now. This is what they are looking like. So yummy. We're gonna go ahead and take them out of this pan. And when you're making this, do not clean this pan out, because we're gonna use this same pan for the sauce. All of this is gonna add flavor. So let's go ahead and take this out. My goodness, I just tried that shrimp and it is beyond good. And maybe I didn't try one, but I tried about 1 or 2. So we might have to cut those in half so that everybody can get a couple. But next we're gonna go ahead and cut our onion for the sauce. So how I like to cut my onion is first, I cut it in half and I cut off not the hairy butt part, but wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay. But you know what I mean. Like this part right here. But I don't cut that part, but I cut this part off. And then I peel the first layer off like so. And then I cut lines across. And I want these to be kind of thin, so I'm making thin lines here. And I'm gonna cut it vertically like this. And since I don't plan on making a whole lot of sauce, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut 1 onion, or actually I think I'm gonna do just half an onion. Let me see the size of this. Yes, so you want it to be about this size right here. Potatoes now have about 30 minutes left. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip them. All right, so we want to go ahead and turn the potatoes, and ooh, does it smell good up in here. But anyways, let's get on to the sauce. So for the sauce, I'm gonna add just a little bit more butter, about I want to say half a tablespoon, and you're gonna turn that on medium to high heat again, and go ahead and get that goodness from the bottom of the pan. That's just all the flavor right there. So now that it's starting to bubble, we are gonna go ahead and put in some of the garlic. I barely have any of this left because this right here, I put this in almost everything. So that's about how much I'm gonna put of that in there and stir that up. And we're also going to put our onions in there as well. And I'm gonna cook these until they soften up. And then we will return back with the next step. So I did take the potatoes out while these were cooking. I'm gonna let them cool down so I can unwrap them and then put them in the oven just for a little bit longer. But once your onions look like this, that brown color, you're gonna go ahead and pour in your heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna pour about half of it because the rest I'm gonna use for my potatoes. I'm gonna take some of that stuffing out, but you wanna go ahead and make sure that everything is mixed together and turn your heat up a little bit more now. I had reduced it to like a medium low. Now we're on a medium high heat so this can start bubbling. So now that it's starting to bubble a little bit, I'm gonna add a little bit of this Philadelphia cream cheese just to give it, you know, that creamy factor and to thicken it up a little bit. And I'm gonna add just a tad bit more. Now that that's stirred up and melted, we're gonna add about a cup of this Parmesan cheese. Excuse the mess, but everything was splashing. But we went ahead and mixed it up, and this is the consistency that you want right here. So we're gonna go ahead and do a little taste of this to see if any more seasoning is added. I mean, needs added, because we just used, you know, the excess of what we cooked the shrimp in. So let's go ahead and try. So it may look a little different. I had to switch to another camera because my phone died, but we're gonna go ahead and try this. Very good. It does need a little bit more salt, garlic. I would say salt and garlic for sure. And maybe a little bit more of the garlic and herb. So here's what I'm gonna season it with. The garlic and that's a garlic and herb. The Lari seasoning, the garlic and herb, a little bit of paprika, and then the garlic and herb. We're gonna give that a stir and then try again. Yes, this is the color I want to. All right, let's try it now. So we got our spoon, a little stir. That's what it needed. So we're gonna go ahead and put the lid on that while we take our potatoes out of the foil and put them in the air fryer. Oh, okay, so let's go ahead and unwrap these. Still very, very hot. Where's the tongs? Okay, so let's go ahead and move this out of the way and pop that in the air fryer. Go ahead and put this in here. Okay, so we're gonna set that to 400 degrees and put it in for about 10 minutes. While that's in there, I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning up my mess and putting all these seasonings away and wiping off this counter. Hey, it's Zay, and we're back. So what I did was pour the shrimp into this sauce. I'm heating it up because it has been a little while. Because I put the potatoes in the air fryer for an extra couple minutes. I'm just letting this warm up, and I have the broccoli in the microwave, and then we're going to go ahead and add the broccoli into this and start building our potato. Now I have some butter, and I'm going to, I left this in the fridge. I'm gonna put about that much. I just stabbed myself through the freaking thing. Well, I'm gonna put some butter, a little bit of garlic powder, some Lori season, and I'm also gonna put some parsley. Let that melt for about 30 seconds. We're gonna pour this onto the potato. Okay, so the broccoli is done, so I'm gonna pour some of that inside of there. Chop it up a little bit and stir. And let that simmer some more. Okay, so right now I am grabbing a potato out of the air fryer. This is what it looks like, and do you hear that? Nice and crispy. Nice and crispy. But we are going to go ahead, but my camera does not want to stay. Let's use this to hold it up. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I like to take the tongs and then just squeeze it. Next, we have our potato right here. We're gonna just take this fork and fluff all that potato. Perfect. Just like that. And then we're gonna pour some of our butter mixture on there. See? Hold on. So all I did was fluff out the potato and pour some of that butter mixture on there, and I wanted to make enough so that everybody gets 3 shrimp. So let's go ahead and put some of this sauce on there. Perfect. And then just some sauce on top. Alrighty, so this is the finished product. There's 3 plates here because me, my boyfriend, and my sister is eating this. I made a side Caesar salad as well. But let's get into a little taste test to see how everything came out. Righty, so we are finally done. So let's get into a little taste test of this. The skin is nice and crispy. It's seasoned well with the salt on the outside. Let me know if you guys tried this recipe, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.